Good evening and welcome to the Pittsburgh Public Schools Progress Monitoring Meeting. It's Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. My name is Tracy Reed and I'm Board Representative for District 5. Tonight we have two items on the agenda. The first is the Back to School presentation and the second is implementation requirements for the Future Ready Plan. I will now turn the meeting over to Dr. Wayne Walters.
Thank you, Dr. Reed, and greetings, Board of Directors and community. I am your proud superintendent, Dr. Wayne Walters, and this evening I am joined by members of the Pittsburgh Public Schools leadership team to present the 2025-2026 Back to School preparation presentation. This annual presentation details the comprehensive and the strategic steps we have taken to ensure that our students, families, educators, and the school communities are supported, prepared, and inspired as we embark on a new academic year. As you know, the beginning of the school year is more than a date on the calendar. It is a reflection of our district's collective readiness, our unwavering commitment to excellence, and our belief that putting students first, always, in all ways, is not just a motto, it's a mandate. This presentation represents the work of a deeply committed leadership team, leaders who have worked with urgency, intentionality, and care to align our priorities and resources around what matters most: high-quality instruction, safe and welcoming learning environments, operational readiness, and equitable supports for all students. You will hear from each of our district leaders this evening as they walk us through the operational, instructional, and safety measures that will guide our schools into a strong start. As always, I thank you for your continued partnership and support of Pittsburgh Public Schools, and I look forward to a year of equity, excellence, and efficiency as we continue to put students first, always, in all ways. With that, I will now turn it over to our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Sean McNeil, who will begin by outlining our back-to-school preparations. Dr. McNeil.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to present an update on the work of the Office of Curriculum and Instruction as we prepare for the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Our mission is to ensure that all students in Pittsburgh Public Schools have access to high quality, rigorous, and culturally relevant instruction that reflects and celebrates the diversity of our district. Our work is anchored in 4 key commitments: providing all educators with high quality instructional materials and resources, implementing a rigorous and inclusive curriculum in every classroom, offering active coaching and sustained support to enhance instructional practices, designing and facilitating professional learning that is purposeful, responsive, and impactful. What I will share this evening represents a coordinated effort within the Office of Curriculum and Instruction to ensure that teachers are prepared, resources are in place, and students are engaged from day one. In K-8 mathematics, we are entering year 2 of illustrative mathematics by Imagine Learning, updated to the newest edition, Imagine IM. Over the summer, our STEM team completely rewrote all K-8 curriculum maps. The revised maps now include the following: a unit overview, PA standards alignment and crosswalk to Common Core, unit assessments and monitoring sheets, resources for planning, a list of important links to the illustrative math platform, and Schoology shortcuts with videos, family supports, and vocabulary. Daily planning tables with direct links to lessons and aligned Schoology files. We have also added a useful tips section naming changes from the old to the new edition and notes on ensuring access for all learners, including strategies for English learners and diverse learners. Additionally, community building lessons have been embedded at the start of the year and throughout each unit to establish our district math norms. These will help set the tone for positive, inclusive mathematics classrooms. In August, our K-8 teachers will participate in professional learning focused on cultivating a positive math identity for all students and building a classroom culture where everyone feels capable of succeeding. In grades 9 through 12, our summer curriculum work focused on Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and AP Statistics. Refinements include adding problem-based, community-building bridge lessons between units for Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and Statistics. Designing engaging low-floor, high-ceiling lesson launches to provide entry points for all students in all courses. Adding technology-enhanced items for Algebra 1 aligned to Keystone standards and assignable through Schoology. Through our partnership with Dr. Michael Young of We All Count, teachers are integrating culturally relevant problem-based learning experiences. And this approach connects math concepts to students' lived experiences, making the subject more engaging and meaningful. Professional learning for high school math this year will focus on implementing culturally relevant activities, fostering collaborative learning communities, and facilitating student discourse that builds both skill and confidence and student mathematical identities. In ELA, our K-5 educators enter year 3 of the Open Court Reading, and 612 educators enter year 2 of My Perspectives. Our summer curriculum work in K-5 included developing small group oral reading fluency lessons, creating a 6-step lesson design for small group foundational skills instruction, revising eligible content, resources, and lessons. For grades 6-12, we revised the SAVIS assessments to improve relevance, reduce the length of the time of the assessment, and ensure alignment to eligible content. For our ELA professional learning this year will focus on deepening implementation of core materials, enhancing writing instruction across genres, strengthening differentiation with high-leverage student-centered strategies, embedding culturally responsive and identity-affirming practices, and using formative assessment data as well as DIBELS Acadience to guide instruction. Partnerships with the Institute for Learning and the New Teacher Project will support teachers in integrating student-centered literacy strategies that reflect the science of reading and writing in grades 6 through 8. This year marks the launch of our Ethnic Studies course, part of the graduation requirements for the class of 2028. Every high school and 612 school will offer at least one section for the 2025-2026 school year. Curriculum development has been collaborative with input from community members, parents, organizations, teachers, students, and administrators. The curriculum emphasizes project-based learning, research skills, student agency, and personal reflection. Teachers are supported with lesson plans and formative assessments, guidance for facilitating discussions on race, strategies for student-led projects, a custom education elements text, building bridges, incorporating primary sources, local history, and contemporary experiences. All materials have been delivered to schools, and August 13th through 15th, we will host the Ethnic Studies Summer Institute for teachers who are registered. In arts education, we refined and updated curricula across music, arts, strings, visual arts courses, aligning them with the National Core Arts Standards and Dr. Gholdy Muhammad's framework. We've curated Smithsonian Learning Labs to embed primary resources in the curriculum and expand partnerships with the Carnegie Museum of Art, providing teachers with workshops, guided tours, and a residency program. Professional learning will emphasize inquiry-driven lesson design, culturally responsive arts education, and practices that center love, justice, equity, and joy. We are in year 2 of the Reach Higher and LIFT programs. This summer, our ELD department has collaborated with the Science and Social Studies departments to embed scaffolds in their curriculum, integrated math student talk strategies into the K-8 math, and continued revising the newcomer handbook. Professional learning will focus on PDE, English language proficiency targets, under the theme Growing in Language and Content. Secondary theme, Reviewing the Blueprint, will cover enrollment, grading, and compliance. ELD coaching will prioritize new teachers and schools with emerging L populations while continuing support for schools with the long-standing L programs. We continue implementation of several programs. Our National Geographic Biology is year 3. Inspire Chemistry and Physics, we are in year 3. World Language curriculum writing across 6 language programs, we are in year 2. An Emerging Educators program, year 2. Additionally, curriculum revisions this summer align science courses with STEEL standards, revised anchoring phenomena, and embedded culturally responsive strategies. As we prepare to transition our gifted education being provided at the all-student school, we are intentionally providing professional learning to every staff member. All teachers will participate in an asynchronous professional learning course on identifying and supporting gifted learners. Curriculum updates include interdisciplinary enrichment resources, project-based learning, and integration into our MTSS. Our AP teachers will receive College Board training on the AP Classroom, and we have scheduled the Pearson Professional Learning for the Naglieri Nonverbal Ability Test for 2nd grade teachers and principals. Our Summer Leadership Academy, as you know, is our capacity building strategy that brings together district talent, school leaders, and leadership teams to strengthen systemic implementation of key initiatives. This year, over 430 participants engaged in sessions aligned to our 5 pursuits framework, with keynotes from Dr. Wayne Walters, superintendent, and Dr. Robin Jackson. The learning focused on inclusive instructional practices, advancing curriculum implementation, and leading with authenticity, purpose, and joy. 9 of our middle schools visited the Ron Clark Academy and are launching the RCA House system this year. This model fosters belonging, unity, and leadership, with students and staff sorted into houses with unique names, symbols, and values. The system builds cross-grade relationships, promotes healthy competition, and recognizes student contributions, centering equity so every student has a place and a voice. Our back-to-school preparations represent a comprehensive approach to ensuring that every school is ready to provide high-quality, equitable learning experiences from day one. Through updated curricula, targeted professional learning, and initiatives that strengthen both academics and school culture, we are building the conditions for all students to thrive. Thank you for your support. The next voice you will hear will be our Chief, Mark Stuckey, Chief Technology Officer.
Thank you, Dr. McNeil. Great evening, board members. Tonight, I will be providing an update from the most exciting department in the district, the Office of Technology, on our readiness for the new school year. We'll cover our device distribution process, enhanced district technology supports, our work with Pocket Talk translation devices, and progress with Counselor Connect, and upcoming and continued staff application trainings. We have worked throughout the summer to ensure all student devices are ready for the start of the school. All broken devices have been repaired and returned to schools. For students who kept their devices over the summer, they will continue using them at the start of the school. 10% of student enrollment surplus of devices are being delivered to schools for any late enrollments. For our students, kindergartens will continue to receive iPads as previously before. Grades 1 through 5 will see the continuation and the introduction of touch and non-touch devices. Grades 6 through 12 will continue with their existing non-touch devices for consistency and familiarity. For staff, HP replacement laptops will continue to be provided, excluding our food service and custodians. Staff members are reminded to transfer their files by September 10th on their old devices. Additionally, on August 8th, all students' passwords were reset to ensure security for the upcoming school year. We've expanded our end-user service department with 3 new technical positions focused on device repairs and replacements. This addition allows our 10 field technicians to dedicate more time to on-site school support. We've also expanded the Let's Talk chatbot for 24/7 support through the PPS website and staff portal, enabling after-hours ticket intake and guided troubleshooting. Finally, our support center expanded Tier 1 training to our augmented support team, increasing our ability to resolve issues at first point of contact. Last fall, we implemented Pocket Talk translation devices to support our growing ESL population. These devices have significantly improved our ability to communicate with ESL families, resulting in over 34,000 translations during the 24-25 school year. We'll continue providing these devices and support as needed. Additionally, T-Mobile hotspots remain available for students without internet at home. Families can request them by submitting a ticket to our support team. Counselor Connect is helping us improve students' support, providing real-time access to essential student data and streamlining counseling documentation. It automatically generates meeting summary letters, emails them to the students, their guardian, and the counselor. And now, thanks to recent enhancements, it includes a fully live administrator dashboard for reviewing meeting details and metrics, an automatically translation of meeting summaries into the student's primary language. We're also offering district-wide application training, including Microsoft Clip Chat for easy, engaging video creation, Microsoft Forms for surveys, quizzes, and polls, Microsoft Whiteboard for collaborative brainstorming and visual thinking, and Microsoft Bookings for managing appointments and services requested. And hot off the press, we are also going to be soon providing Copilot Chat, which is AI for all our staff training as well. That is hot off the press, first to hear about it. It's coming out soon. These trainings are available to all staff, designed to help integrate technology in teaching and operations. With that, I will now turn it over to Executive Director of Equity, Dr. Kimberly Cruz.
Thank you, Chief Stuckey. Good evening, Board of Directors. In our unwavering commitment to equity, the Office of Equity acknowledges a critical truth. While progress has been made, the work of dismantling systemic barriers and ensuring access for every student remains urgent, especially for those whose voices have historically been unheard. These students, often from our most marginalized communities, continue to face gaps in recognition, opportunity, and access in the essential resources. I'm Dr. Kimberly Cruz, and I serve as the Executive Director for the Office of Equity. We are now entering the final 2 years of our Memorandum of Understanding with the Equity Advisory Panel and the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission. While we continue to submit the quantitative databases required under the MOU, the PHRC has, for the first time, provided a comprehensive evidence reporting framework. This framework requires us to pair those databases with clear proof of implementation fidelity, equity impact, and systems alignment, directly tied to the 74 action steps and the 94 reporting items across 7 strategic equity domains outlined in our agreement shown on this slide. Our major submission, which is due August 29, 2025, will serve as a comprehensive demonstration of how Pittsburgh Public Schools is meeting those commitments and measurable improvements we are making in policy, practice, and student outcomes. Protecting our students' rights is non-negotiable. Title VI and Title IX compliance is not just a legal requirement. It's about creating safe, respectful, and equitable learning environment for every student. The Office of Equity continues to lead the district's response to incidents of discrimination, harassment, abuse, or retaliation, ensuring we remain in full compliance with these federal protections. We work closely with schools to receive and investigate reports and to provide supportive measures and remedies for those who are affected. Annual training is mandatory for all staff. This year's focus is on the 2020 Title IX regulations, which were reinstated following a January 2025 federal court decision. The training is asynchronous, it's assessed, and must be completed by September 26. It prepares staff to recognize, prevent, and respond to sexual discrimination, harassment, misconduct, retaliation, and abuse. Our reporting process is clear. A report is made, and then support is provided, including rights and resources. If a formal complaint is filed, an investigation is conducted, evidence is reviewed, and a neutral decision maker determines the outcome. If necessary, the process allows for an appeal. Our Student Equity Advocates Program delivers targeted, culturally responsive support to students who need it most, advancing academic growth, personal development, and affirming student identity. Rooted in our 5-part equity framework, this initiative fulfills the MOU and equity plan commitments by reducing the achievement gap, building student agency, affirming identity, increasing engagement, and ensuring access to enrichment and opportunity. 7 student equity advocates will support a combined tiered caseload of 350 to 420 Black and Brown high school students in grades 9 through 12 across 8 schools, providing individual and small group mentoring, which is grounded in the social justice standards and focused on building student agency. Ongoing professional learning ensures the work remains culturally responsive, consistent, and data-driven. We measure success through GPA, course performance, attendance, engagement, a sense of belonging, and growth in racial identity, agency, and self-advocacy. The program's design, tiered caseloads, dual mentoring formats, a standard-based curriculum, continuous data tracking, and enrichment activities ensures we deliver on our commitments and make measurable progress towards equity in student outcomes. And with that, I will turn it over now to our Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services, Dawn Golden.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. Good evening. The Office of Student Support Services provides interventions to remove barriers and ensure we are supporting the whole child. Through these supports, we ensure our students are physically, socially, emotionally, and behaviorally well so that learning becomes the priority. Student support services are foundational to creating an inclusive and equitable learning environment where every child can reach their full potential, understanding that full potential looks different for every student. The Office of Student Support Services is comprised of 6 directors: directors of school counselors, social workers, student support reform, athletics, health services, and Project Elect Teen Parenting. These directors support the work of our school counselors, school social workers, nurses, nurse practitioners, dental hygienists, and teen parent advocates. Also under the Office of Student Support Services are magnet programming, the Pittsburgh Online Academy, and programming for our teen parents and their infants. In addition, student supports is responsible for the oversight of Safe to Say, PS6s, open enrollment, tuition waivers, Section 504s, and bully prevention programming. In an ongoing effort to create opportunities focused on ensuring our students are graduating on time, summer credit recovery was offered to students this summer. We had a total of 757 students enrolled in the credit recovery program. Of those 757 students, 679 students actively participated in credit recovery. The 679 students included students with IEPs, 504s, as well as our English language developers. 61 courses were offered to students during summer credit recovery, with students taking advantage of multiple courses totaling 1,996 course enrollments. We, the Office of Student Support Services, are poised to continue and build upon supports by providing Wayfinder training to all building leaders. That training is scheduled for August 21st. Securing school-based mental health providers. We have 4 providers secured to provide our students with supports. We also continue to seek additional partnerships to make sure we are equipped to provide our students with the necessary supports. Focusing on and enhancing multi-tiered system of supports, MTSS. This handbook was developed in collaboration with Curriculum Instruction, as well as the Program for Students with Exceptionalities. The handbook provides a framework for multi-tiered system of supports implementation by providing tiered strategies to support students' academic, social, emotional, and behavioral challenges. We are also working to implement a faculty manager evaluation tool, and this collaborative effort has been between Student Support Services, the PFT, and Dr. Ford Hayward as we establish the evaluation tool for faculty managers. The team continues to work to finalize the tool and is hopeful the evaluation will be ready to pilot this fall. The Office of Student Support Services has identified the following priorities for the 2025-2026 school year. These priorities ensure that we are assisting our educators in the following. In the office, under Student Support Services Reform, we will focus on increasing the use and effectiveness of reintegration meetings, restorative practice circles, and social emotional learning. Our school counselors, the goal will be to continue our communication efforts with families. As Mr. Stuckey mentioned, through the Counselor Connect app, the school counselors will ensure that parents are receiving timely and updated information regarding the status of their students' progress. We will be continuing to work with Mr. Stuckey and his team to extend the Counselor Connect app to all grade level counselors. The school counselors will also be working to put a system in place to effectively implement and monitor 504s, as well as ensuring that students that should have received COVID compensatory services have received those services. We will also be looking at and reimagining credit recovery support, and that is delivered to students by ensuring that we are maximizing and providing multiple opportunities for students to recover credits. Our school counselors will be reviewing our threat assessment system and ensuring our building level staff are adhering to this system. Also, the district will be partnering with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the A+ schools to implement Stay in the Game, an attendance program to assist with removing barriers. The attendance program will be piloted at 8 of our schools. In athletics, the athletic strategic plan will be a major focus this year. The plan will assist with assessing current programming for students grades K through 12 and creating opportunities for students to learn about athletics as well as engaging with community partners. And finally, our Project Elect will continue to support teen parents through the use of teen parent advocates. Project Elect students will receive support in managing schooling as well as being a teen parent. Teen parent advocates will assist teen parents with accessing basic needs such as food, clothing, and other essentials for not only the student, but for their infant. I will now ask that Damian Link, the Director of Maintenance, come forward to provide updates for the Operations Department.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Golden. Good evening. My name is Damian Link. I'm the district's Director of Maintenance. As we prepare for the 2025-2026 school year, I'd like to share an update from the Operations Department covering key readiness areas: facilities and maintenance, logistics, pupil transportation, and school safety. These areas are critical to ensuring our schools are safe, operational, and welcoming for students and staff. Our facilities team continues to advance critical infrastructure work across the district. We currently have 173 active contracts supporting design, construction, and maintenance. Key highlights include AC installation at Brookline, flooring at Roosevelt, Obama, and Westinghouse, major electrical upgrades at Chartiers, roofing replacements at Allegheny, Beechwood, Westwood, and Wow. We have gym bleacher replacements at Alderdice, emergency generator installations at 4 schools, and safety upgrades to fire alarm, PA, and security systems. All scheduled summer projects and cleanings are on track and will not delay students' return. We've also partnered with the city for a new playground at Westwood and with the Trust for Public Land to install a new playground at Greenfield. Major mechanical system upgrades are also underway at Alderdice, Brashear, and Central Operations. And we've initiated work to modernize our central food service production facility. Beyond capital projects, we focused on data-driven planning. This year, we've completed an ADA accessibility study at all of our schools, a full assessment of exterior paving and walkways, and we also completed our tri-annual lead in drinking water testing. On the funding side, we've had significant success in securing external grants, including a $15 million from the Department of Energy's Renew America's Schools in partnership with Wilkinsburg School District, $5 million from the Department of Community and Economic Development for the public school facility improvements, $4.1 million from Pennsylvania Department of Energy for environmental repairs, 2 $300,000 grants from the Department of Community and Economic Development for solar for schools, and a $15,000 grant for Farm to School in partnership with Grow Pittsburgh. These funds strengthen our ability to meet operational and sustainability goals. The maintenance team has undergone a full departmental overhaul focusing on performance, accountability, and systems alignment. Key accomplishments include a clearer leadership structure with defined expectations, structured staff evaluations and performance management, and a complete implementation of the FMX digital work order system. In FMX's first year, nearly 10,000 work orders were processed, enabling real-time oversight, scheduling, and alignment to district priorities. Looking ahead, we're continuing the temporary painter program into the school year and using FMX data to build long-term preventative maintenance and asset preservation plans. Right now, our team is focused on high-priority readiness tasks to ensure all buildings are clean, functional, and safe for day one. For the upcoming school year, transportation operations will remain stable. There will be no changes to school start times or dismissal times. We are actively processing online requests from non-PPS families to ensure smooth routing. We continue our collaboration with Pittsburgh Regional Transit to address student fare structures and route changes. This stability helps families plan and supports consistent student attendance and performance. We are also enhancing how we communicate with families. Route sheets and notification letters will go out by August 12th to all stakeholders. A new welcome back transportation letter will be sent to every PPS family. For greater convenience, notifications will be delivered both USPS and email. We are also expanding the pilot of Stop Finder, a real-time bus tracking app for families. Families on select routes will receive invitations in August, and we plan to expand participation based on feedback throughout the year and next. School safety continues to be a top priority. We are fully implementing the standard response protocol district-wide. Every staff member will receive an in-person emergency training before the first day of school. SRP signage will be visible in every classroom, and family materials will ensure community-wide understanding. Regular drills will reinforce emergency response across our schools. An updated safety school handbook has been distributed to all classrooms. Board members can find a hard copy at their seats. This structured approach ensures clarity and consistency in the event of an emergency. We are also reinforcing building access control through the Raptor Visitor Management System. All visitors going beyond the front office will need to sign in and wear a visitor badge. Every school has a kiosk for logging visitor access. Information is stored both locally and centrally, improving accountability and emergency response. This system enhances our ability to monitor visitors and keep students safe throughout the day. Thank you for your time, and I now pass this on to Dr. Ted Dwyer.
Thank you, Mr. Link. I'm Dr. Ted Dwyer, and I serve as the Chief Accountability Officer for the district. I have the honor of leading the Data Research Evaluation and Assessment, or DREA. We work to provide high-quality access, data, and strengthening school-based staff who enter and manage it. We support staff who are responsible for data entry. We complete state and federal reporting, and we deliver regular public and internal data snapshots so that leaders, staff, and families have a clear, timely view of our school's performance. A key part of this effort is our support of the School Data Systems Specialists, or SDSSs. These staff members ensure accurate enrollment, scheduling, and overall data integrity at the school level. We provide targeted training on enrollment and scheduling protocols, along with ongoing coaching to address challenges as they arise. We also lead district-wide training for school teams to standardize enrollment processes and to ensure that schools can communicate the enrollment clearly and consistently with families. This approach helps build trust, support transparency, and ensures that all stakeholders have access to the same accurate information. The Pennsylvania Department of Education will require all PSSA and Keystone exams to be administered online starting in spring 2026. This includes the transition of the Science PSSA in grades 5 and 8 to the new STEEL standards. To prepare the district, we are leveraging our district's one-on-one student device initiative and working closely with the technology department to ensure test security, software readiness, and smooth operations. For schools, training for school assessment coordinators will be ongoing, with updates specifically focused on online testing protocols. It is important to note that the platform that these tests are on is the same as for the classroom diagnostic tools, meaning both staff and students already have a level of familiarity with the systems. Our focus now is on ensuring all staff receive updated training, particularly around enhancing test security requirements. We're making a strategic shift from primarily building data dashboards to focusing on data storytelling. Our data insight reports are designed to answer 4 essential questions. First, what is the data telling us? Second, why does it matter right now? Third, who is most impacted by the trends we see? And fourth, what should happen next? By framing data in this way, we aim to make it more actionable, driving understandable, inspiring informed action, and supporting high-level planning. While we are moving towards data storytelling, we are still committed to maintaining our public-facing dashboards and regular reports for school leaders. Our public dashboards offer transparency on key metrics such as accountability, attendance, enrollment, and suspension rates. For internal users, we deliver monthly reports that cover attendance, discipline, suspensions, graduation status, assessment data, and more. We also provide specialized dashboards for both leaders and teachers. Leadership dashboards offer high-level insights, while teacher dashboards provide real-time student information, helping educators respond quickly to student needs. I have the pleasure of handing the presentation over to our illustrious Community Communications Director, Mercedes Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Dwyer, for that wonderful introduction. Again, Mercedes Williams, Director of Communications and Stakeholder Engagement. The Communications and Stakeholder Engagement team is excited about this time, as back to school is our most exciting time, where we hold 3 staple events for Pittsburgh Public Schools families and stakeholders. On Monday, August 18th at 9 a.m., please note the new start time, at Acrisure Stadium and in Gold Lot 1A, we will host the 13th annual #Pittsburgh for PPS back to school event. The first 50 cars drive through the lot will receive a $50 Giant Eagle gift card, and we are excited about holding this event for 13 consecutive years. Families can participate in 2 ways. They can go inside of Acrisure Stadium for hair and school supplies, or they can also drive through Gold Lot 1A to get the same free amenities. On Saturday, September 6th, we will be hosting the 2nd annual PPS Parent University 2025. We will return to Duquesne University for this event. The theme is Cultivating Excellence through PPS, Purpose, Passion, and Success. Parents will hear a keynote from Dr. Starsky Wilson, attend valuable workshops, and browse our parent resource fair. Just as our scholars explore and learn in our classrooms, this summit provides an opportunity for our parents to sharpen their knowledge and skills on our very own local college campus. Registration opens on August 15th, and Parent University is free and open to all current PPS parents and guardians. The office is partnering with the Take a Father to School Day Committee to host our 3rd annual Take a Child to School Day. That will be held on Thursday, September 18th, and this initiative is nationwide. Fathers, brothers, uncles, and positive male role models are invited to bring their PPS child to school. Whether you walk, drive, run, bus, skate, or bike, we invite you to join one of our PPS students as you encourage them to go to school on that day. The 2025-2026 Pittsburgh Public Schools Family Calendar will be mailed to all PPS families and staff in exactly 1 week. To continue our alumni engagement efforts, this year's calendar theme is Higher Learning and Hometown Roots. As we share the story of 10 extraordinary Pittsburgh Public Schools alumni, as we share the stories of 10 extraordinary Pittsburgh Public Schools alumni who have earned doctoral degrees and are making impactful moves in law, education, advocacy, medicine, and entrepreneurship. From courtroom advocates to community healers and visionary leaders, each of these doctors represent the power of perseverance, purpose, and scholarship. The 10 include the following: Dr. Melissa Fries, Dr. Dominique Thornhill, Dr. Christopher Thyberg, Dr. Anthony Kane, Attorney Anne Marie Hart Eagle, Attorney Kelly Weir, Dr. Amaris Shandell, Dr. Ronald Roth, and of course, our very own Chief of Staff Lamar Blackwell and Principal of Pittsburgh Westinghouse, Dr. Virginia Hill. We are closely working with the Office of Public Relations and Media Content around the PPS Future Ready Plan communications and community outreach. Community conversations occur bi-monthly and are ongoing opportunities for our stakeholders to be able to come into our schools or into a special partner place in order to provide feedback, ask questions, and share their ideas on the future of Pittsburgh Public Schools. We have currently hosted 5 community conversations so far at Sunnyside, King, 2 at the Summer Leadership Academy, and 1 yesterday at Youth Enrichment Services. We have engaged a total of 201 stakeholders. Our next community conversation is September 10th at 6 p.m. at the Hill House on Center Avenue in the Hill District. The PPS Future Ready's Plan community updates are also sent to PPS families every 2 weeks and contain relevant information about the plan, including upcoming events and announcements. We also have a new community phone number and email for parents to be able to reach out to us 24/7, where we have 3 dedicated staff members to respond during normal business hours. The email is community@pghschools.org, and the phone number is 412-529-8280. I will now pass this portion of the presentation over to Director Ebony Pugh.
At Pittsburgh Public Schools, the facts speak for themselves.
Give me an F, F. Give me an A, A. Give me a C, C. Give me a T, T. Give me an S, S. What do we got?
Before you choose a school for your child, get the facts. Visit pghschools.org/getthefacts. Pittsburgh Public Schools. Students first, always, in all ways.
Get the facts. That's the new campaign for Pittsburgh Public Schools. During this time of change, we want to remind our community that we continue to offer students and families more programs, more opportunities, and more support than local charter, private, and parochial schools. Our new television ad is airing in-game during each Steelers preseason matchup, with more than 130 spots on CBS Pittsburgh and an additional spots running on WPXI and through our partnership with Steel City Media. In addition to the television ad you just saw, the Office of Public Relations and Media Content is actively encouraging our community to get the facts. We have created a flyer for schools to share during back-to-school nights, along with multiple print, online, and radio ads. All materials direct families to our Get the Facts webpage, where visitors can see the facts for themselves and learn more about what PPS offers. From a nurse on every campus, to being the first school district to get a Green Building Alliance Award, free meals for all students, as well as free testing, SAT testing for 11th graders, and so much more. We are not waiting for people to come to us. We are reaching out. Postcards have been mailed to promote our career and technical education offerings to rising 9th and 10th grade students, as well as current PPS students and charter students. We've also mailed postcards to families of children ages 3 through 5 across the city to encourage enrollment in pre-K and kindergarten, with a follow-up welcome message planned for all incoming kindergarten families. As Director Williams noted, we are working closely with the Office of Communication and Stakeholder Engagement to gather community feedback on the Future Ready Facilities Plan. We have hosted a series of PPS community kickbacks to connect with families, not just about proposed changes in the plan, but also with important start of school information like enrollment, job opportunities, and summer reading resources. These events offer an informal but meaningful way for the district to engage our community. We have hosted kickbacks at Pittsburgh King, East Hills Community Park, and wrapping up right now, Pittsburgh Concord. We have also added a new date in Northview on August 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. At each kickback, families can look up their proposed K-12 feeder pattern in the Future Ready Facilities Plan, take the Future Ready Facilities Plan survey to share their thoughts on the recommendations, and suggest considerations for transition should the board approve a final plan. The survey is open until Sunday, September 7th, and is available at pghschools.org/Future Ready Survey. It's for students, families, staff, and community members. To ensure families understand the recommendations, we mailed a detailed guide explaining the purpose of the Future Ready Plan, the proposed changes, our current status, and the many ways families can share their feedback. This same guide was also sent to all district staff and is at the table with board members for review. We are providing biweekly updates through constant contact emails, addressing key questions and topics related to the plan. These updates complement the biweekly flyer series to keep information clear and consistent. To support schools during this transition, our office has developed a school marketing workbook to help leadership teams tell their unique stories and highlight what makes each school special. This is also at the table for board members to review. As schools refine their key messages, we will assist them in creating materials to share with the broader community. We recognize that during times of change, some families may consider leaving the district. Our message is simple. The grass is not always greener on the other side. As the second largest school district in Pennsylvania, PPS offers a depth of programs, opportunities, and support that is unmatched. I will now turn it over to our Chief Human Resources Officer, Margaret Rudolph.
Thank you, Director Pugh. Within the Office of Human Resources, all 5 divisions have been hard at work this summer to support a smooth start to the school year. In July, we were awarded the PA Department of Labor's Supporting Certified Teacher Apprenticeship Grant with an award of more than $360,000 to support the development of an educator apprenticeship program for current PPS employees interested in becoming certificated teachers. Our internal HR team is now working on the Educator Registered Apprenticeship Program application with an anticipated approval later this fall and a launch anticipated for early 2026. Through our continued partnership with Journey Live, we're excited to roll out a full Employee Assistance Program, EAP, this year. If you haven't checked out Journey Live, you could use the QR code shown on the screen now to access mental well-being supports and resources. The new EAP includes chat, phone, virtual, and in-person supports, all part of the broader Journey Live menu of services. PPS employees can also share access to Journey Live with their family and friends to support their mental well-being. Our benefits team also launched communications about the new Wellness Advantage program, which incentivizes employees who complete both their annual preventative physical and an online health risk assessment. By completing both of those activities, benefits-eligible employees will enjoy a no-deductible cost share in calendar year 2026. The Growth and Evaluation team supported end-of-year evaluations with strong completion rates, 98% for teaching professionals, 99% for central office staff, and 100% for non-teaching professionals and school leaders. For our non-certificated support and operations role groups who use the Perform platform for the first time, 84% completed their annual evaluation. And this upcoming year, we're excited to offer new resources and supports to help all role groups continue to grow their professional practice. Our staffing team had a summer full of intentional outreach, recruitment, interviews, and hiring. And while we're still in our final push to reach full staffing for the start of the school year, As of now, we have 24 teaching and professional and 22 paraprofessional vacancies remaining. There are still plenty of ways to join the PPS team and make an impact on student success. Our biggest professional needs are in the areas of special education, and our greatest paraprofessional need is in school safety and special education support. We are also hiring for substitute teachers and substitute paraprofessionals. Whether it's 1 day a week or every day, we have open substitute positions across multiple schools, as well as in our food service operations. Our substitutes are exceptionally valuable to help us create and maintain safe, welcoming spaces for learning. You can check out our recruitment table set up at each community conversation and kickback event, or visit pghschools.org and click the careers button in the lower left corner to learn how you can build your future with PPS. And with that, I will now turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of the Program for Students with Exceptionalities, Ms. Patty Camper.
Thank you, Chief Rudolph. Good news, I'm last. The Program for Students with Exceptionalities, better known as PSE, has been preparing for the 25-26 school year, for us, which began in July, when we welcomed 441 students to 3 weeks of our extended school year services across 5 separate sites. Students were engaged not only in building academic skills, but also social and emotional development, independent living skills, and community-based learning. In addition to our annual extended school year requirement, students who are eligible for COVID compensatory services were also provided over 17,000 hours of various support services through programs in PPS, as well as 25 outside partnerships. In total, we have now provided over 48,000 hours of COVID compensatory services and continue to evaluate, plan, and renew our programs as we move into the 25-26 school year and another full year of CCS offerings. In terms of professional development, we continue to offer summer learning and safety care to ensure all schools have certified crisis teams with effective de-escalation and physical management skills. This summer, 55 staff were trained, and ongoing monthly trainings have been scheduled through our professional development platform as we continue to grow our capacity to support children in crisis. And finally, as we enter the 3rd year of full-time emotional support satellites, the newly named Pittsburgh Bridges Academy will now have single grade bands at all sites. This includes expanding capacity for grades 3 to 5 at Martin Luther King and moving the 6th through 8th grade classroom previously located at Martin Luther King to Pittsburgh Carmel. The expansion of Pittsburgh Bridges to 6 sites allows students with significant behavior challenges to obtain support within Pittsburgh Public Schools and more effectively access transition through our full continuum of services. This aligns with our commitment of supporting all students, regardless of disability, in their least restrictive environment with the appropriate level of support and services. And with that, I will now turn it back over to Dr. Wayne Walters.
Thank you, Ms. Camper. Thank you to each member of our leadership team for your thorough updates, and to the Board of Directors, your continued partnership and a commitment to putting students first always, in all ways. This concludes our presentation, and I now welcome any questions you may have.
So we will start with questions from our board members who are here, seated here. Do we have any online? Okay. If those of you who are online, if you have questions, please raise your hands. Do you have a question? Director Silk.
Thank you. My first question is with regards to the ethnic studies course. I was just curious about when we introduce a new course of study to the district, so not this course in particular, but just kind of what are the additional supports or what are kind of the checks that we do when we're introducing a new course of study?
So I just need a little bit of clarity. Are you referring to supports for the teachers who are implementing the course?
Yes, or rather, so just even backing up, when we implement a course for the first time, what are some of the protocols that we have in place for checking on implementation during that first year and seeing what kind of course corrections, adjustments, what might be needed?
Well, certainly one of the things that we make sure we do is hold feedback opportunities for those who are implementing the course. So depending on the course, of course, there are curriculum supervisors, coordinators, executive directors who support and provide, it could be coaching support, of course, the curriculum support is available, and resources. But in addition to that, there are certainly specific touch points throughout a year or a semester of implementation of a new course where we're looking to get that feedback directly from those teachers who are implementing. And that supports, adjustments that happen the following year, whether it's looking at revisions to the curriculum and specific changes based upon student engagement, based upon teacher feedback.
Thank you so much. My next question was regarding the new reporting requirements through the Office of Equity. I was just wondering if the board could see what those new reporting requirements were in addition to, I think you mentioned the report was coming out at the end of the summer, but given that those requirements changed, it would be helpful. I'd be curious to see what those are.
Good evening. Dr. Cruz, Executive Director for the Office of Equity. The PHRC has intentionally aligned all of their indicators to the MOU. And so, for an example, they may ask something like to show evidence that, give you an example, that the board is in attendance at the EAP meetings, as that is one of the requirements. And so they're asking for items that are attendance rosters, check-ins, and things of that nature, just to ensure that we are having meetings as we have committed to do, and then what type of evidence that supports those meetings and those who are in attendance.
And is it possible to, are all of those requirements written out somewhere?
Those requirements are written out.
Okay. It would just be helpful to see those, especially if that report is something that the board would get to review later on.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
And then I had a clarifying question. I just wasn't sure what a term meant in the student support services section. Wayfinder principal training. I just didn't know what Wayfinder was.
Good evening, Dawn Golden, Assistant Superintendent for Student Support Services. Wayfinder is the social emotional learning platform that is utilized in our buildings.
That's right. Thank you for the reminder. And then also on that next slide, there was a bullet point about assessing current magnet programs, and I was just wondering what that looked like in the broader context of the emerging restructuring plan.
Yes, so we are currently looking at neighborhood magnet programming, what that would look like for the district. Our Director of Student Support Services Reform has been, and Rogers have been working and reaching out to other school districts near and far on just what their neighborhood magnet programming looks like, to try to help us to get a sense of some of the things that we may need to put in place as we plan. We are also currently looking at our magnet programming and just the structure, and as well as what that transition is going to look like.
Thank you for that clarification. I think I just had two more. In the maintenance section, I think you mentioned that the FMX was new, and I was just wondering when that was first implemented, to have an understanding of how much time lapsed to get those 10,000 requests.
We formally brought it on board at the beginning of this year.
Calendar year or
2025,
school year?
correct.
Okay.
January of this year.
Calendar
correct.
year. Okay, cool. Thank you. And then there was mention about the Future Ready survey, and I was wondering if it was possible to, I'm sure that's a click-through, but it would be helpful just to see what those questions are, so that we can have a sense of what information we're collecting from the community.
Sure, yeah, we can send you the questions. They're broken out by who's taking it, so students, community, we can get those to you.
Thank you so much. That's all for me.
Director Telfair.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. And thank you, everybody, for presenting. You all did a great job. Good. Yeah, you. Okay, I have a few questions. The first, possibly Dr. McNeil. I mark does which slide. I'm just curious, you mentioned the Emerging Educators Program and it coming into its second year, and I'm just wondering how that program is actually working. Is it working well for the district in comparison to the former teaching magnet? I'm just curious because we haven't heard a lot about how that program is going.
Well, I would say that we were certainly excited about, the transition to that program. We actually have done work this summer with the curriculum revisions, the writing, updates to the curriculum for that program of studies. And of course, there's a bit of a transition period, and recruitment that's necessary to increase enrollment in the program, but we're certainly looking forward to a second year of implementation.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, next section, Dr. Cruz, you're up. Two quick questions. Only one question for you, sorry. Can you remind me what schools the student equity advocates are? That's the slide 20.
Yes, so we do have 7 advocates over 8 schools. The schools are Alderdice, Brashear, Carrick, Mallions, Obama, Perry, SciTech, and Westinghouse.
Okay, so just high schools. Okay. I just couldn't remember which schools they were at. I always ask questions about that. I mean, I think that there's so much value in having them in the schools. I'm just wondering, how that is actually working. Is it beneficial to the students that are there? Are there pieces that you think could be or could look different to make the program more effective, or their roles and what they do with the students more effective?
Absolutely. And so we have taken a concerted effort this past summer so that we can revamp the program so that we are able to yield those measurable student outcomes that the MOU is asking us to do, as well as the equity plan. As I mentioned earlier, we are certainly ensuring that our metrics are aligned and being actually used with fidelity across all 8 schools so that we can measure that impact, as I stated earlier. Again, the student equity advocates have spent the entire summer working collaboratively to ensure that the program is definitely going to begin to yield the results in which it was designed to do. And so we're excited about that.
Thank you for sharing that. Dr. Golden. In your section about credit recovery, that's slide 22, for those who are paying attention. Can you just tell me so there's 757 total students who were enrolled in credit recovery, but only 679 actively participated. So how do we support the gap of students that maybe weren't participating? Are they students that just they're no longer coming to school? I'm just curious about how we support those students, or what happens to those students.
So the teachers that provided credit recovery contacted those students multiple times just to try to attempt to engage them in the credit recovery program. So obviously they were unsuccessful in doing so. So our school counselors will look this year while they are scheduling them to hopefully schedule them into some of those courses that they weren't able to take this summer, with the hopes of allowing them to participate in credit recovery this fall, with the hopes of, trying to stay on track, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you. So they wouldn't necessarily mean that they've completely dropped out, or they're just
Correct.
not, but they just haven't met those credit requirements that they need. And do you know, are they like seniors? Like where are they at? Or just curious?
I don't know exactly the grade level. I know that our seniors participated in another program, that Special 12 program, for our seniors that needed more than 2 credits, and they participated in a totally separate program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Silk asked the question that I had about the magnet programming part, so I won't ask additional questions about that for now. I think I have one more, so sorry, bear with me as I go back through all the slides. Okay, I do have one more question and a comment, and then I'm done. Okay, this one's for Margaret Rudolph. Can you just remind me, I was trying to write when you said this in your, for slide 46, but you said there were 24 teacher openings, and I missed how many paraprofessionals, or was it also 24?
I don't have my speaking notes right in front of me, but I think it was 22.
Okay. No worries. And then I guess the second question to that was, are there candidates in the pipeline to be able to fill those positions by the start of the school year? Or will those positions be vacant and we'll just be in dire need of filling those positions? I'm just curious.
We are really close. One of the components, particularly for our paraprofessional positions, is that if someone does not come in with the requisite educational requirement, there is an option to take a test, a para exam, that qualifies them to serve in the role of a paraprofessional. We've had a little glitch in purchasing the seats. Our office purchases a block of testing seats so that potential paraprofessional candidates can seamlessly take the test, pass, and keep going in the hiring process. For whatever reason, the company that we utilize was having an issue with their firewall. So we were a little delayed in getting the block of exam, that exam block purchased, but it's my understanding that's been taken care of. We've had people in the office this week completing paperwork, so they're on their way to be filled. It takes, clearances and paperwork take a little bit of time, but interviews were conducted all during the past few weeks. Huge shout out to the PSE team and their program officers for conducting interviews. So fingers crossed, we believe we will be fully staffed. It's just a matter of keeping the process moving with testing, the exams, passing the exam, and getting all of the paperwork and clearances turned in on time.
And Director Talaferro, I can confirm that as of now, we have 24 teaching and professional and 22 paraprofessional vacancies remaining.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, now to my comment. I was watching sports the other day, and I actually saw the commercial, so I'm glad that that's what we're doing now. I just was like, wait, I never seen that commercial before. It was new to me. So thank you for sharing that in your part of the presentation, Ms. Pugh. That's all I had. It was really great too, by the way. It was good to see it, and hopefully everybody sees it, and so are children at Pittsburgh Public Schools. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, we do. We got facts. How about you?
At Pittsburgh Public Schools, the facts speak for themselves.
Give me an F. F. Give me an A. A. Give me a C. C. Give me a T. T. Give me an S. S. What do we got?
Before you choose a school for your child, get the facts. Visit pghschools.org/getthefacts. Pittsburgh Public Schools. Students first. Always. In all ways.
Thank you. I have like two questions that are probably pretty nitpicky. The first one, I appreciated the fact that all teachers and staff are going to participate in, this is Dr. McNeil's question, in asynchronous training for gifted education. I was wondering is there a corollary for students with exceptionalities and students who are English language learners? Like, are there opportunities for all staff to participate in, in that kind of training?
I'll take the first, the English learners that support. So it's not necessarily an asynchronous course for that program coming out of our ELD department for all staff. But what we did do intentionally during Summer Leadership Academy, we incorporated 3 days of learning led by our ELD department. We want our staff who were in those sessions to take that learning back to their schools, but we also are looking at what the turnaround support, that learning will look like over the course of the year.
Thank you. And students with exceptionalities?
Good evening. So we do not have an asynchronous course, but our 13 program officers deliver professional development to their assigned schools throughout the course of the school year. And so that training is all in person.
Perfect, thank you. And I was also curious about teachers doing AP, getting training for AP courses. Is there a district-wide effort with regard to college and high school courses?
Okay, so I can't say that at this time we have a systematic process for providing that professional learning for our college and high school courses. So I will have to follow up with you about that.
Okay, that's fine. College and high school is college and high school is a really great program. And then finally, Dr. Dwyer, when you talked about making data storytelling and like data actionable, that's really exciting. I was wondering, when you look at these data stories that will be developed, where will they live? Like, how will we see them?
It is exciting. Thank you. Ted Dwyer, Chief Accountability Officer. The data stories are intentionally going to be built for leadership, and the Depending on how leadership is using them to make decisions, they will also be shared with the public and with the board when appropriate.
Thank you. I want to see all the data stories. Are there any other questions from our board members online? No? Okay. Well, so thank you for the presentation. It was great. We're excited about the new school year. And at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to the Council of Great City Schools and Dr. Ray Hart.